Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Solds, which would be last weekend, March 3rd through the 5th. I have noticed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, Sundays are my best selling day. They have been the thing that's really saved me. I just seem to be doing better on Sundays and basically the weekends for selling on the other platforms. So I'm just gonna keep hoping every week that Sunday drags my numbers up a little bit as far as, solds and everything. But I wanted to discuss one thing before we get into my what sold. All right, I noticed something yesterday when I was doing some research to do my comps, and I'm not quite sure if it makes a difference. And I've tried to say this several times and I keep getting all confused. So Roberts wrote me a script and I'm going to read it to you guys so that I'm not going to confuse you too, because I keep confusing myself on this.
Because there's a difference when thinking of it from the buyer and the seller, but from the listing and the researching perspective.
Right. So some time back, I'm going to stare at the screen, y'all. I heard eBay recommended that we use the words instead of symbols in our titles, right? That somehow it gets all the Google search messed up if we're using symbols.
Like the symbol for inch instead of the word inch.
Right. So the other day I was looking up stuff using the word inch. So let me get back to this. I don't remember where I heard this, but I'm pretty sure maybe it was Auction Professor, and then I watched a couple of other YouTubers. But so I decided several months ago to start using the word inch instead of the symbol for inch. I list a lot of Plush. But yesterday I noticed a difference in searches when I use, let's say, 12 inch for a Plush versus 12 inch with the symbol, the single quotation. And I don't know.
As a computer nerd, that's a double quote.
Okay. Oh.
Instead of a single quote, which is a tick, which is like an apostrophe,
The nerd's here because he wants to make sure I get through this without, once again, confusing myself.
Because I got to tell you this, because she said this yesterday, and then I looked at it, and being a nerd brain, I was like, oh, this is how it is. And I told her. And then she's like, great. And then she sat down, and then she had to arguing with me for 15 minutes. And then she finally decided, okay, you're right. I was wrong.
Yeah, because, and I don't even know if this matters. That's the thing. You guys are going to have to tell me, does this matter? When searching using the word inch, not symbol, you only get results that have the word inch in it. When searching using the inch symbol, you will get results that have the inch symbol and the word inch. You guys try to repeat this yourself and see if you're getting the same results. By using the word inch in your listing title, your item will show up in both searches. If you use the inch symbol in your title, your item will only show up in those searches. Right? So as a seller, though, yesterday, because I have been using the word inch, something happened yesterday that made me notice there's very few search results when I was using the word inch for comps, right?
And that's because most people use the symbol.
Most people are still using the symbol.
Most sellers.
Right, the sellers. So as a seller, though, when you're doing comps, you need to use the inch symbol, because I was noticing when I had the word inch, I would have just a couple of results. And for the most part, it wasn't a biggie until it was noticeable to me. I was still finding comps. As a seller, doing comps for listing your items, make sure you use the inch symbol when searching, so you will get results that have the symbol and the word.
And that's the exact opposite of what you should do when listing your item, but you want to use the word inch.
Right. So what does this all mean in the grand scheme of eBay selling? I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't done enough about it yet. How many buyers search using a measurement? You know, if you're looking up something to buy, do you use size, the measurement, or are you just doing Dakin Plush Bear?
Or do you do Dakin Plush Bear 12-inch?
Right.
And sellers might think of it differently than the average buyer too. So what do buyers do, not what do sellers do?
Right. How many buyers search for Dakin Bear Plush 12-inch compared to just Dakin Bear Plush? If buyers rarely use a measurement, it won't affect our sales in any measurable way. But if buyers are using size, like Jellycat, size is important with Jellycat. Are we losing out on the searches because we're using inch symbol? I don't know. You guys let me know. Do you think it makes a difference? I'm still going to keep using inch when I list, but when I'm doing comps, I need to use the inch symbol because that's how you're going to get all of the results. All right.
I hope everybody's confused now.
Yeah. I might slowly but surely, as I'm deleting and relisting stuff, start converting some of my older listings to the Word also. But all right, let's go ahead and get this started. We'll start with Mercari. I had 3 sales on there. The first one is Build-A-Bear. I told you most of my Build-A-Bear are like $8 to $12, even on the other platforms. This was a basketball themed plush. His ears and his feet had that basketball texture. It sold for $10. Finding Nemo. This was a little backpack. It sold for $14 on Mercari. And then this gray sloth. It's actually from Dollar General. But I tell you, a lot of times, once it's no longer in that store, Walgreens, Rite Aid used to be around here, CVS, if a mom is out there looking for a lost toy that she it's either been lost or it needs to be replaced, eBay is where they're going to go to look because it's not going to be found in those stores anymore. And this Dollar General sloth sold for $13. All right, a couple on Posh. I picked this up at an estate sale on half price days. I want to say it was $3, so I paid $1.50, or it was $2 and I paid $1. But it wasn't a lot. It was a food saver, fresh saver. I don't know what it's used for. I'm assuming it had a little attachment to it and you could suck air out of bags or whatever just to, keep food to last longer. It sold on Poshmark for $16. Dickies men's jeans. They sold for $22. And then this Hug Fun Bear Plush, large, 27 inches, but it was very floppy, so it was going to be able to fit in a priority box. It sold for $28. And then one sell on Etsy. This is a cute little Eden clown plush. It did have a few issues, which I did note in the description. It sold for $17.95. I love Finding Eden. All right, and then eBay. Quite a few on there. This is Fisher-Price Fun with Food. If you find any of that stuff, it's gold. It really is. This was just the soup can with the lid. There was supposed to be soup pieces inside of it. But I'm in one of the Fisher-Price groups because y'all know I love Fisher-Price. And somebody had gone to a flea market this weekend and found in the boxes some of the original Fun with Food series. I probably could not sell it if I ever found it again. I can sell the pieces and parts, but if I found them in the box, I don't know about that. But this was from 1987 and it sold for $8.96. This is Octonauts. This is one of the plush. It's quasi-cat. He sold for $13.45. Jimmy, this sold within hours of me listing it. This was What Does the Fox Say? It was singing, dancing, animated plush. It sold for $24. No, I listed it for $24. It sold for $20. I think this is a viewer sale just based on the name of the store. So, you know, I figured I might as well thank her, even if you're not a viewer, but I think you are. So thank you so much, Leanne. I just showed this recently in a bins haul. You guys might not even have seen it yet. We're getting a little bit behind in releasing those videos. But this is from Holy Bears. It's said Basket of Hope on it, but it was still in its original bag. It sold for $9.75, and I'm pretty sure it sold like within a day or two of listing. This is Dakin. Love Dakin. This seal is from 1976. It sold for $8.96. I am all about my bread and butter sales right now. All about it, because that's what's keeping me afloat. Now these next two sales was one buyer. They didn't wait for me to combine shipping for them. I always give a refund when they've bought something and they've way overpaid in the shipping. This is Garanimals Brown Monkey Rattle. It sold for $13.72, but she also bought this Carter's Monkey Rattle for $8.96. I sold this within hours of listing it. This is Disney Lilo and Stitch Scrump Plush. Just, I think, had it in a recent video. There is a vintage one that's very sought after, but this is more contemporary, sold for $16.95. Levi's 560 men's jeans, $22.21. Lambs and Ivy Gray Elephant. I really like that brand, but I don't find it a whole lot. This elephant sold for $14. Had the cute little like ribbed ears. Little People. I've been making small lots of the hundreds that I have picked up at the last two times we've been to the bins. These 4 animals sold for $12.10. I sold this pretty much within a couple of days of listing it. This is Mo Willems. It was a green rabbit. You know what? I didn't even put his name in here. I think his name was like Nuffles Bunny, something like that. $8.96. Jellycat. This is a 12-inch pig. You know, there's a lot of talk out there about just Jellycat. Not all of it is high dollar. A lot of it, most of it is bread and butter. So I don't want, if you see Jellycat, check the comps, especially if, you know, you're not wanting to, you know, buy things that are like in my bread and butter range. This pig sold for $10. Geotrax. This is Crosstown Express. It's supposed to be a 3-car series, and with a remote control. I did not have it. I sold it as basically replacements. I was able to show that the light turned on, so I don't think there's going to be any issue with it. It sold for $13.45. I think Robert picked this up at that estate sale where we bought a bunch of breakables because they were like a quarter or 2 for a quarter, something crazy, and we just decided we were going to buy some of it. But look how cute. This is pigs or piggies in a bubble bath, just a little porcelain. Kind of looked like Homco, but I don't think it had Homco marks, so I didn't use that word. $12.93. This was an Emperor Tamarin Monkey Plush from K&M International. It was dated 1996. I had to use Google Lens because I had no clue what it was. Sold for $17.95. Very quickly. Very quick sell. I bought a bunch of Imaginext figures. Most of them were from what they call the blind bags. You know, it's just little pouches and you don't really know unless you're feeling on all of them and you figured that all out, which is what a lot of people do. But I just put them in small lots. Some of them were even individual. These 3 firemen sold for $11.66. This was a viewer sale. She said she was watching one of my videos and saw this plush and went in and purchased it. So thank you so much, Jennifer. She bought this Hug Fun dog plush. It says, I woof you, 16 inches long, sold for $9.86. Dandy Sherbet Orange Rabbit, very little, 5 inches tall, sold for $11.66. Boonton Ware Turquoise Bowl. These are those melamine plastic bowls. Robert bought a box that had just several different brands, but almost all of it was either, I think, this turquoise, and I think there was like another color, but I don't remember what color it was. But these 4 bowls sold for $16.95. This is from my online high bid auction that I won almost 2 years ago. Still selling stuff from it. This is Flubber. He was a little 3.5-inch mini plush, sold for $11.66. Toys R Us Brown Bear plush, 22 inches from 2011. He was supposed to have a scarf. I noticed, if I notice in other comps that mine is missing something, I try to say something in my listing just so they know that, you know, it's not complete, or, you know, doesn't have all of its accessories. It sold for $11.66. I think buyers appreciate honesty. They really do. Just say it if you notice it. This was a cute little vintage yellow dog plush. It had the little wind up musical. Let me show you. Right there is the wind up part. Here, there's a better picture. But notice in my description, and I use this in the condition notes, but I also use it down in the item specific, you know, in the bottom. But it says does have lots of wear and leaving cleaning to the buyer. The music box does work. There is a hole. Let's see. Right there. There is a hole near the wind-up mechanism. Please view all pictures. That's just what I do. List everything that you note that's wrong with something. This is Pokemon Wooloo plush from Wicked Cool Toys. I picked this up at a yard sale for $3. I bought a couple of them. She had a whole table full, but not all of them were worth picking up at $3. This sold for $17.95. And notice I did not list it as new, even though I did have the original tags. I just think you have less issues if you, unless I buy it at a store, Walmart, retail arbitrage to resell. I'm not going to be listing stuff that I pick up at the bins or yard sales as new. Koala baby. It said best friends here on the little tag. Cute little rattle dog. Sold for $14.36. This is Homeschool Curriculum by Abeka. This is health. Sold for $35.95. Now, I did list this as brand new because RJ was taking this course this semester. We ordered the books and then realized the teacher wasn't going to be using this. She was going to provide the info. So I didn't pay. I paid more than this. But at least I got some of my money back because I wasn't going to return it and have to pay return shipping. I lost less doing it this way, which it was our mistake with that because we didn't check with the instructor before. She's using this, but she was going to provide the material. Funko Five Nights at Freddy's. His name is Spring Trap from 2016. Big capital letter read there because I realized while I was giving it a bath that somebody had chewed on its ear. Either a pet or a child had chewed its ear. It still sold very quickly for $13.45. This sold almost right after, probably within a couple of hours of listing it. I showed this in a video recently. It's Super Mario Luigi. It's from 2017. It said Little Buddy is, I guess, the series of these plush, $9.95. Petting Zoo, odd colors. A lot of times plush that are different colors, not just their normal typical color, tend to do better for me. This was just a pink and black zebra, $10.84. Viewer sale, so thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry purchased 2 things from me. It was this Kids of America pink rabbit Easter basket, sold for $26.95, and this cute rabbit. Look at its silver nose, very unique. I thought that's why I made sure it was one of the first keywords after the Kelly toy brown rabbit. Sold for $17.05. This is another multi-quantity order. This buyer purchased this Kelly toy squishmallow orangutan and a dandy rabbit. Paid $23.91 for the 2 of them. FAO Panda Bear plush, kind of large, 18 inches, sold for $14.03. It was from 2013. I have found that the Toys R Us FAO plush doesn't do as well as the FAO Schwartz plush. But I tend to pick up all FAO. It doesn't really matter which one they are. Bought a bunch of trains. These are called Trackmaster trains. They're the motorized trains. Picked up a bunch at the bins. I've still got some over there. I do test every one of them, and I have video showing that they are running. And again, especially with battery operated toys, make sure you take pictures of the battery compartment. This one did have slightly corroded batteries in it when I opened it up, so I cleaned it up, tested it works, take a video of it, but I did state in the listing and in pictures that there was some corrosion. Sold for $13.45. I just talked about this brand in another video. The brand is Animal Toy, so you're never probably going to be able to find that brand easily to do comps. It's just one of those things. I thought this purple rabbit was unique and cute. It was from 1985. So I usually pick like $20, $25 depending on condition and just the quality of the plush, the colors, all of that stuff gets taken into consideration. It sold for $21.55. Wish Pets, this is a baby Rumo polar bear from the St. Louis Zoo, sold for $13.45. Jeans, shorts, Levi's 505, sold for $15.01. And then my best sell of that weekend is curriculum. Again, I purchased this at Courtney Bolo Buddies bingo challenge that we all did. This was one of my items that I picked up, I think, for a book. I knew Saxon math does very well for me. We used it when we first started homeschooling, and then we switched over to another curriculum that our homeschool co-op was using. But I know how much I paid for this stuff new, so I knew it was going to be a good buy. I just didn't realize it was going to be this good. It's not the most current version. It was from 1999. It was in really good condition. $85.45. I was shocked. And it sold very quickly. I had a lot of low offers. I just held out and somebody bought it at the sale price. So love when that happens, right? All right. I'm not sure if you guys have, if we've mentioned this in a previous video, but Robert and RJ had their phase 1 of their second degree black belt test this weekend, and they both did pass. Now they got to wait for the next phase, and then in May it looks like, hopefully, fingers crossed, that we will be making a trip to Connecticut for Robert to do the final tests well, Robert and RJ will do the final test for their 2nd degree black belt. So very, very proud of them. It was, I don't go to the tests. I don't want to be a distraction, and I don't like the stress of everything that they're having to do. So I just sat here and waiting for them to let me know how they'd done, which I had faith. I had all confidence that they were going to do well, but it's a very, very tedious test. Very. And then they had to do a physical fitness test after the first part of it. So, yeah. But yeah, I'll send Robert some congrats and RJ because it's a big step. Their next belt, if they choose to go for it, probably won't be for like 3 years. That's how much preparation they have to have in order to get to the next level. So it's a big step for them. All right, get to work. Bye.